Are you ready to live your dream? Motivation, inspiration, and passion. That's what it takes to make dreams come true. Welcome to the Nadia Sahari Show. Our guests will share important tips, insights, and knowledge to help you fulfill your dreams of success. Here's your host, actress, author, entrepreneur, Nadia Sahari.
Hey, here we are again, the Nadia Sahari Show. I'm your host, Nadia Sahari. Oh, yes. I have a guest today that is a poet, and he's a guitarist, and he's a writer. He's many things, and we're going to get him in here and talk to him and find out how he's living his dream. Now, you know that this show is about dreams. It's about the fact that we are all dreamers. We all have dreams. We might have one dream. We might have a whole bunch. And whatever it is, writing a book, being in a movie, songwriting, and having a record label if we sing, and we have a dream of being in our own business. Whatever it may be, they are dreams and they are achievable. That's why I invite guests to my show, like the one I'm going to have today. He's going to share his journey, his secrets, and his challenges, how he did it, how he's maintaining it. So today, my guest is Stephen Carbon, who is a writer, who is a poet. I want to introduce to you right now, Stephen Carbon. Welcome to the Nadia Sahari Show. It's so great to have you here.
Thank you, Nadia. I appreciate the invitation. Aloha to you.
Aloha. And I'm excited to talk about your book, Aloha, the poetry book.
I'm very excited about it.
You live in Hawaii, and you were gracious enough to send me a copy, and it's called Poetry of Aloha, Verses of Hawaiian Island Spirit. And wow, what a book. It's beautiful. It's a great table book. It has great poetry in it. And you wrote every single poem in here. You created every single one?
Yes. Yeah,
wow.
I wrote all the poetry, and I also did the photography in the book as well.
The photography
so
is
it's
incredible.
a combination of, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It was a labor of love, and the islands of Hawaii and its creation, and just a true inspiration to put together.
Yes.
And it was definitely never a pre-planned project in itself. It was just an inspiration that took foot, and this is the end result of it all.
So my favorite one, they were all great. Okay, let me.
I'm glad you enjoyed the poetry. That's that's my main focus of the book is the poetry and the theme of Aloha Spirit. Yes.
One of the ones that I liked was the Sea of Life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
That was beautiful.
Yeah, it's a wonderful. Yeah, thank you very much. It's a wonderful poem. All have their own source of inspiration, whether it be just an image that I see, or an idea that comes to mind, or just wandering thoughts of the mind.
Well, let me say what I'd like to find out from you, which I ask every guest. What age were you when you were inspired to do this, writing poetry and being inspired by it, like you have with nature? Yes,
I've lived in Hawaii now for approximately 8 years, and the years I've spent there has just created an inspiration and influence over my life that I felt compelled to write about, and to try to convey that creative experience with everyone reads the book or partakes of the photography as well. It's something that I've been a lifelong musician since early, teenage years, and wrote music and performed, and I didn't have the inspiration to write this book until about a year ago. I'm 58 years old currently, and this was just an inspiration that came upon me within the last year and a half to 2 years, that I've been focusing more on poetry writing than song lyrics. In fact, I interpret a lot of this as song lyrics rather than poetry, because eventually I'd like to, turn a lot of these poems into music and collaborate with some Hawaiian performers to kind of create a musical version of the book as well.
Well, I like Crescent Moon as well, and I would just like to read just a little bit of the Crescent Moon, just
Please.
to give the people a sense. I sense the bellowing fascination of her passions, like sails upon ships of our liaisons. Never could I ever fathom, Crescent Moon, depths of starry oceans, caress of waves and introspection, drown my sorrows, a myriad of commotion. It's beautiful.
Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate the compliments. They're very real, heartfelt words and lyrics that, it just was, like I said, a true inspiration of aloha and how it's touched my life. And the book is a mystery of sorts of a love for island life and the Hawaiian culture and the philosophy of aloha spirit that they carry amongst themselves, and it's very influential. I think it's something that needs to be shared with the rest of the world to bring a positive message, basically a peace, to bring a peaceful spirit to humanity, a reverence for nature, and how those two interlock together in life.
Well, I've been to Hawaii. I've been to Kauai. I've been to Oahu.
Yes.
And
yeah, I have my home. My home is on Kauai, and I've traveled to some of the other islands. Most of the photography in the book is from the island of Kauai. That's the sheer beauty of the place, unmatched.
Oh, it's wonderful. It's like the most beautiful, the most lush, it's beautiful. I loved it.
I call it paradise on earth. It's about as close as you're going to get to the island of Kauai.
And that's a good place to be, especially in the climate that we're in now.
Yes.
That'll definitely take you away from all the propaganda and all this negativity.
Yeah, right. That was the purpose of the book, really, was to bring a positive message to a world of turmoil and despair and just all the negativity that's going on nowadays, throughout various political upheavals and strife throughout the world. It was, I think, a message that needs to be brought to the masses, you might say.
Yes. So how do you use the wisdom?
I think it's basically a cohesiveness of spirituality, the physical realm, as well as the mental cohesiveness that I think a combination of those three is what makes up all of our thought processes, gives us our perceptions of who we are in the world. And I think the more you can combine those three energies, the more it enriches your life and smooth the heart of stress and just and just the lets you dissolve away the negativity of the world, embrace the positive. That is the energy that we all need to live by.
Isn't that the truth? Oh boy, you said it. You said it. I am definitely creating my own heaven on earth right now because I can't handle what's going on. It's so sad. And I don't want to hear it anymore, and I don't want to see it because it does make you sick, and it's not worth it.
Yes. Just a couple of hours of news shows daily is enough to put you in a bad mood and just create a negative light around your evening.
Yes.
And
yes.
But so it's all about just being able to let go of that negativity. Not that you have to ignore it, but just interpret it, put it where it belongs. Focus on what the real purpose, interaction of life and people is all about: camaraderie, humanity, and peacefulness of society.
Well, we have a choice.
Very hard to achieve. I know it's very hard to achieve that, but you've got to start somewhere in life, and no better time than the present.
Well, we all have a choice, and thank God we have a choice, because we are responsible for our inner circle. And we can choose to go outside of that circle and be miserable, or protect our inner self in that circle and protect ourselves and do what's right, which will flow into the outside and help the others that are out there that haven't made the right choice, if that makes any sense. And maybe when they see how happy you are and how peaceful you are, they say, wow, how did you do it? Wow, how did you do that? I want some. I want to be like that too. Okay, turn off that TV. No more media. Don't listen to the propaganda.
That's right.
Just think for yourself and be happy and make yourself happy, and it will go out there. It's just like if you spend money, you're helping the economy. The economy is growing because you're spending money. Yeah. If you hoard your dollar and you don't spend that money, well, the economy goes downhill, and then we have a depression. And then people get out of work because nobody's spending money. It's the same thing. So if you're happy, you make other people happy.
Yes, and it's infectious. If you pass it on to someone else, they will share that with another person.
That's right.
And it's something that you just have to practice what I call aloha spirit in your day-to-day life, where you have to put that energy out there to people if they're going to respond in kind.
Yes.
And that, to me, is I found that to be a life-changing experience for me.
Yes.
And my pursuits in business and music and obviously my writing has, I think, ignited in certain ways because of that, the closeness of spirit with the positive, how can I say, the positive realm of existence. Mm-hmm. I think that there's just a lot of, lessons to be learned and practices to be kept up in our day-to-day lives that can only strengthen that pursuit of happiness, and it doesn't matter how you do it, whether it's spending money or sharing, poems with the world or just helping out your neighbor down the street. It all, it doesn't matter the way, but that you are practicing it.
Yes. Well, we're going to take a short break, Steve, and we'll be right back, so don't go away.
Sounds great.
Get locked into the Nadia Sahari Show and achieve your dreams today. Listen in at the NadiaSahariShow.com. Listen to some amazing people just like you find their way in life with great uplifting stories, problems they dealt with, and get to understand what makes them tick. It's the Nadia Sahari Show. Great interviews, touching feelings. Whatever talk you need, you're sure to find it right here at the Nadia Sahari Show. Grab it, do it, love it, and get excited today.
And we're back with my guest, Stephen Carbon. Aloha.
Nadia?
Yes, you are so mellow. I bet when you go to Delaware, you're not this mellow.
Something changes on the plane ride over.
Yes. I did nail that, didn't I? Yes.
Yes, you did.
Life is weird.
You touch down in Philadelphia, and the world is quite different when you get off the plane.
That's true. It's so true. Oh, that's funny. I had to say it.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about your music. You're a musician, and you play the guitar. Yeah. How did that start, and when?
Well, I've been a musician for quite a few years. I've have a band that I formed, years ago, and the name of the band is called Carbon 14, and it's got its own meanings and its own design. But it's a rock and roll band, and it's just a passion for music that I've lived with for many years, and I enjoy playing out, other members and musicians and perform at various festivals. My favorite aspect of it all is performing live for an audience and people, and just having that one-on-one experience and enjoyment of filling other people's lives, filling their life with a positive vibe and spirit. So it's something that I've pursued for many years and enjoy as much as I have now with sort of a new chapter of my life, writing and poetry and pursuing those ambitions. And so it's been a wonderful experience for me, and I think it's kind of primed my mind for what I'm doing currently. But I still play regularly, have a few different venues that we play at regularly throughout the island of Kauai. And I also play with other musicians in Delaware, which is where my other residence is, and that's where the band originally started, was in Delaware.
Okay.
And then I've carried that to Hawaii to join up with other musicians there, and so I'm kind of transitioning now into just absorbing newer musical styles, and especially the Hawaiian music has been very intriguing to me and influential, and some of the newer, music that I'm performing. So it's been a very rewarding experience, fulfilling. I can only say it's just an ongoing passion, I think, and till the next lifetime comes along.
How has the music and performing enabled you to create a positive connection with the people in Hawaii?
Yeah.
And how does that influence you?
Yeah. I guess the interaction of the people to the music to the lyrics, and those three aspects come together, just create a happiness in the soul. Yes. I think that's the key. Is it instills, an internal spirit of happiness, a soulful reunion of musician and fan or friend or person passionate, whoever's passionate for your music. So it's basically been a good influence of artistry in my life, to be able to just look in different perspectives instead of just black and white. And that's what's inspired me to look into other, artistic forms of expression. And that's what this book is about, and the nature of scenery as well. So it kind of just has enabled me to transition into other artistic forms of expression.
Well, let's segue into influence. Who influenced you? Who were the influences in your life? Were there more than one person? Was there an influence from someone to get you on this track that you're on right now?
Yes, there were some influences I had growing up in the form of a guitar teacher who took me on as a student and just kind of opened my eyes to the whole aspect of music and expression of art and emotion, and how to pour my emotion into the music to express it in some type of cathartic experience that I still use to this day. And he was a very good teacher and mentor, and we spent a few years together learning the guitar and the bass guitar, and so he was a great influence growing up. Certainly, my parents were very supportive of my expression and independence and stubbornness, you might say. Obviously, I had to give them many thanks to where I am today, and to support what I wanted in those earlier years. Then as I, grew into the business world and college and everything else, then basically pursued a professional career for years, but still played music professionally for many years as well. So sort of a dual life I've been living, you might say, of the business world versus the musical world, create where I'm at today. I've met some great musicians in Hawaii. I've met a great poet that obviously has influenced me greatly. And reading her poetry is what inspired me to do what I do now. And so her connection of aloha spirit to me was very vital in this creation. There's just
wonderful.
a lot of
it's like
I'm very blessed. I'm very blessed in this world, and I'm just I'm not at a loss for that,
Well, you're doing the destiny that God gave you in your heart.
Basically pursuing life and what it would bring to me as a person. So I've and it's I know it's hard for people to to find that direction, and lack of just identity, that they don't know who they are, don't know where to go with life. And this is what Aloha Spirit does, is it brings that spiritual, physical, and mental awareness together into one energy that just creates the direction you need in life.
What would you say to the audience? What advice would you give someone that wants to pursue a career in guitar playing or writing or being a photographer or a poet? Do you have any more to say?
Yeah.
You're welcome to.
Yeah, my advice would be to always be true to your own soul and sense of being. Follow your own ambitions. Create the motivation that will take you there. Don't take no for an answer is one of my biggest, don't let people say it can't be done or you can't do it, because that only stifles your own creativity, pursuit of happiness, and your spiritual goal is there in everybody. It's just a matter of being able to find and tap into that energy and move forward with that. You might not know exactly where you're going to end up. You will be happier because you're pursuing your own goals of life.
That's right. As they say, it's not the destination, it's the journey.
Yes, very well put. Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yes, it's ultimately, if you enjoy the journey, you're going to end up in a good place.
That's right. And you're doing what God wants you to do. It's your destiny because you didn't give up, because you have the passion and you stuck with the journey.
Yes.
That's right.
Exactly.
Just like you did. It's perfect. Perfect. Well, Steve, it's been such a wonderful, you're so laid back. Oh, I might have to call you when I'm all stressed. Stephen,
please,
talk
when you're all
to
stressed,
me.
give me a call. Please, I'll read you some poetry.
Stephen, you know what it's like when you go to Delaware?
Yes, indeed. I do. 10 minutes after I get here, it's knocking on the door.
Stephen,
but when you get stressed,
out.
you call me. I will. Call me. I'll read you some poetry, and we'll calm you right down.
Yes. That sounds good. Oh, I'm so mellow.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. That is one thing I did.
Yeah.
I do recall about when I was in Kauai. It was so relaxing. Oh, it was
glad
so...
you had a chance to visit. Yes, I'm glad you had a chance to see the beauty of the place. And
yes, I went snorkeling and I saw all the beautiful, and the water was so clear, and all the beautiful plant life under the ocean. Oh my gosh, it was so gorgeous. And I loved it. Yes.
It's a very awe-inspiring place.
Yes, it is.
And if hopefully this book can bring that light of friendship of Kauai.
Well, why don't you tell people where they can get the book? Let's tell people where you are, how they can connect, how can they get your book?
Sure.
They've got to get the book because it's a beautiful picture book. Yes. Please.
Yes, thank you so much. They can contact me directly through my website at poetryofaloha.com. Just email me there. If you're interested in a copy of the book, we can certainly, process any orders through the website. Personally, myself, I will sign any copy that's ordered through the website to any person interested in getting a copy. It's also available social media sites, Amazon.com, as well as Barnes & Noble. Also, they could tune into my Twitter page at Poetry Aloha. Is my Twitter feed. I also have a blog going on my website as well. There's photography there to look at, as well as there's also some poetry there on the blog page for, any interested persons out there. And so it's very interactive. It's a site. It's a celebration of the spirit of aloha. And it's all designed to just bring a positive message into people's lives and day-to-day routines. So if you're feeling stressed, just go to poetryofaloha.com for a few minutes and it'll calm your spirit.
There you go. Thank you so much, Steve. It's wonderful. I'm so glad I had you on the show. I'll have you again next year, and
Thank you.
Hopefully your book will be selling. It just was published this year, and you're going to be in. It's a great table book. I love it. It's on my table, actually, and I go through it. I look at the pictures, the photography. It's beautiful. Thank you so much, Stephen, for being on this show and for mellowing me out and mellowing everybody out there. We needed it. Thank you so much. God bless you.
You're very welcome, Nadia. Thanks for inviting me on the show. I had a great time.
I'm glad I did. I know. Yes. I saw that you had this book. I had to. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome. Much aloha. And
aloha
enjoy
to you
your
too.
Day.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
You're welcome.
I want to thank Stephen Carbon, author of Poetry of Aloha, Verses of the Hawaiian Island Spirit. What a beautiful book. You're going to love it. So he's amazing. He's a photographer, a writer, a guitarist. I'm so glad when my guests tell me that they do more than one thing because I get, a little flack for doing more than one thing. So this is good. This is good. We all learn something, and I just love learning. I love learning, and my guests teach me a lot. And I hope they're teaching you, and I hope they're telling you and teaching you to carry on with your dream and to pursue your dream. Do not ever give up. God bless you all, and I want to find out, are you living your dream?
Thanks for tuning in with Nadia and her guests. For more info, episodes, and connection, please visit our website, thenadiasaharishow.com. Share episodes with your friends. Follow us on Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, Instagram, and most importantly, never give up. Live your dream.
Latin Connection magazine is a family magazine featuring people of influence, cultural events, and traditions, recipes and photos of Latin food, Hispanics in business. Plus, get news on Latin festivals, Latin entertainment, and Latinos in the fashion industry, and see photos of Latinos in action all over the U.S. Conoce tu vecino y mucho más. We invite you to share your special event with us at LatinConnectionMag.com. Latin Connection Magazine. Conexión Latina y mucho más. Latin Connection Magazine. It's for anyone and everyone to enjoy, no matter who you are.